Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. My name's Ellis and I'll be your host for today's general knowledge quiz. A quiz that consists of 100 general knowledge questions. For each question I will guide you through, read it out loud and tell you 3 multiple choice options, one of which will be the correct answer. Your correct answers then turn into awards. Based on how many points you score, 85 to 100 points will make you a quiz champion. So let's try and make you a champion today, starting with question 1. Good luck! What is the tallest freestanding mountain in the world? Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Etna, or Mount Fuji? The correct answer is Mount Kilimanjaro. Question 2. What part of the human body is Blalock-Taussig surgery performed on? The kidney, the heart, or the lung? What part of the human body? The correct answer is heart. Question 3. As of 2025, what is the world's tallest church? Cattedrale Națională a României, Sagrada Familia, or Ulm Minster? As of this year, 2025, the world's tallest church is the Sagrada Familia. 4. What is the name of the chrysalis cycle of the caterpillar? Lipa, Nopa, or Pupa? Lipa, Nopa, or Pupa? The answer is Pupa. Question 5. What is a quia a type of? Is it a type of seaweed, plankton, or pearl? Have you ever heard of a quia? Maybe you've seen one. What is it a type of? The answer we're looking for is pearl. Question 6. What type of test is a CAPTCHA? Tessellation, true, false, or Turing? That's CAPTCHA. What type of test is that? The answer is Turing. What was the 1970s Kraftkugel snack a flavoured type of? Cheese, peanut butter, or cracker? The 1970s Kraftkugel snack was a flavoured type of peanut butter. Question 8. Who was the founder and namesake of the Ottoman Empire? Osman I, Ottoman II, or Ottoman III? Ever so slightly different names there, and you've got a first, second, and a third. Do you know the answer? It's Osman I. Well done if you got that one right. Question 9. What did the cruise control inventor call this car functionality? Speedostat, cruisometer, or brakeomat? The cruise control inventor called it the speedostat. 10. In which country was the 1946 Battle of Athens? The US, Greece, or Costa Rica? Well, the Battle of Athens. The US is your answer. Maybe not what you expected there. Here's question 11. Who wrote the comic 1932 novel Cold Comfort Farm? Edith Wharton, Willa Cather, or Stella Gibbons? Wharton, Cather, or Gibbons? Who wrote the comic 1932 novel Cold Comfort Farm? Did you get it right? It was Stella Gibbons. What were the 1920s called in Germany? Glowing 20s, Gilded 20s, or Golden 20s? In Germany, the 1920s were called the Golden 20s. How many instruments did Prince play on his first album? 7, 17, or 27? On his first album, Prince played 27 instruments. Which sea is west of South Korea? Blue Sea, Red Sea, or Yellow Sea? If you head west of South Korea, eventually you'd find the Yellow Sea. Question 15. What was the first television series produced for Netflix? Bridgerton, Stranger Things, or House of Cards? Now there's loads of TV shows produced by Netflix, but what was the first? The answer is House of Cards. Question 16. During the Vietnam War, what name was given to the US herbicidal warfare program? Operation Launch Hand, Operation Hand of God, or Operation Handshake? Ranch Hand, Hand of God, or Handshake? The answer is Operation Ranch Hand. Question 17. Which tube connects the human middle ear to the back of the throat? Fallopian, eustachian, or trachean? There is a tube that connects the human middle ear to the back of the throat, and that tube is called the eustachian tube. Which food inspired Salvador Dali's melting clocks? Butter, cheese, or ice cream? One of those three foods listed inspired the melting clock's famous Salvador Dali artwork. And the answer is cheese. Question 19. Which US state was Storm Thurmond of the longest single-person filibuster in history a senator of? North Carolina, Georgia, or South Carolina? The correct answer is South Carolina. Question 20. What are an airplane pilot and a co-pilot not permitted to do on a flight? To speak at the same time, to eat the same meal, or to use the same bathroom? Just in case, they are not allowed to eat the same meal. 21. Whose hymns and poems are the first recorded use of a first-person authorial voice? Anhedwana, Enhedwana, or Inhedwana? An, en, or in? The answer is Enhedwana. Well done if you got that one right. Here's question 22. Which country was Ivan the Cabbage briefly the Tsar of? Georgia, Latvia, or Bulgaria? Ivan or Ivan the Cabbage was briefly the Tsar of one of those countries. The answer is Bulgaria. Question 23. Which country's national anthem is the longest according to the number of verses? Paraguay, Thailand, or Greece? According to the number of verses, which country's national anthem is the longest? Hope you're enjoying the quiz so far. The answer to question 23 is Greece. Moving on now to 24. What flower are Paradasha sapphires, the world's rarest type, named after? Jasmine, marigold, or lotus? Padparadsha. They're named after lotus. Question 25. Who was almost cast by James Cameron in the film The Terminator? Magic Johnson, Mike Tyson, or O.J. Simpson? The answer, O.J. Simpson. 26. What food's tagline inspired the MTV advertising campaign, I Want My MTV? Flavoured beer, flavoured oatmeal, or flavoured popcorn? The answer is flavoured oatmeal. 27. Which fresco isn't found in the Sistine Chapel? The creation of Adam, the Last Judgment, or the Assumption of the Virgin? Which fresco isn't found in the Sistine Chapel? The answer is the Assumption of the Virgin. Question 28. Which British island's motto is whichever way you throw it, it will stand? Isle of Sheppey, Isle of Arran, or Isle of Man? The British island Isle of Man has the motto, whichever way you throw it, it will stand. Which crime writer did actor Reese Witherspoon co-write her debut novel in 2025? Michael Connolly, Harlan Coben, or John Grisham? The answer is Harlan Coben. Question 30. Which part of Florida was the original one-star republic? East, West, or North Florida? How well do you know Florida? Do you know the answer to this question? The original one-star republic. The answer is West Florida. What is the Lady Blunt, the world's most expensive instrument? Is it a violin, piano, or a piccolo? The Lady Blunt is a violin. Question 32. What is the national flower of Cuba? White hibiscus, white frangipani, or white mariposa? White hibiscus, white frangipani, or white mariposa? The answer is a white mariposa. 33. Why was Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho filmed in black and white? Creative direction, avoid censorship, or budget limitations? Film is my category of choice in any quiz. What's yours? Is it film or sport or something we've not covered yet in this quiz? The answer to 33 is avoid censorship. If you are a sports fan, what about this one for you? Which country's international auto racing colour was Silver Arrow? Germany, France, or Italy? The correct answer is Germany. Which island was united with Greece following the First Balkan War? Corfu, Crete, or Cyprus? Maybe sport or film aren't doing it for you. This mixes geography and history. Are we ticking off any of those favourite categories of yours? The answer is Crete for question 35. When are daffodil bulbs planted for flowering? Early fall, early summer, or early winter? If you want your daffodils to bloom as they should, then the bulb should be planted in early fall. Which famed piece was painted by Edvard Munch? The Night Watch, The Scream, or The Kiss? Do you recognise the name of any of those pieces? And can you attach The Scream to Edvard Munch? The answer is The Scream. After which US events did the term carpetbagger emerge? Great Depression, American Revolution, or American Civil War? After one of those American events, the term carpetbagger emerged. And it was the American Civil War. Question 39. Which New York City neighbourhood and poem is the 1959 play A Raisin in the Sun named after? Queens, Astoria, or Harlem? It's called A Raisin in the Sun. It's named after Harlem. 40. What food byproduct was thought to prevent the Black Death? Bread mould, bacon grease, or cheese water? None of them great news as a preventative, but the answer is bacon grease. According to audiophiles, which type of vinyl record has the best sound? Stereo, mono, or flexi? Perhaps you're an audiophile, and this question is music to your ears. Do you know the answer? The answer is stereo. 42. In which South American country is Parque Nacional Alberto de Agostini? Is that in Argentina, Chile, or Ecuador? And I do apologise for my terrible pronunciation there. The answer is Chile. Which Christmas film stars Diane Keaton? Love Actually, The Family Stone, or The Holiday? Well, The Holiday is Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz. Love Actually stars everybody but Diane Keaton. It's The Family Stone. What large collared shirt was popular in the 1970s? Camp, disco, or polo? The correct answer is disco. At what historic event was the Tank Man photograph taken at? US invasion of Panama, fall of the Berlin Wall, or Tiananmen Square protests? The Tank Man photograph was taken at the Tiananmen Square protests. Which author is attributed to the Arthashastra political text? Vishnugupta, Bindusara, or Chanakya? The correct answer is Chanakya. Question 47. Complete the title of Isabel Allende's novel, The House of the Spirits, The House of the Family, or The House of the History? Spirits, family, or history? The answer is spirits. What was the main industry in the US in 1910? Manufacturing, construction, or agriculture? What was the leading industry in the US in 1910? The answer is agriculture. Which song was specially written for the film The Breakfast Club? Against All Odds, I've Had the Time of My Life, or Don't You Forget About Me? The answer is Don't You Forget About Me. 50. Which border isn't called the 31st parallel? North Korea and South Korea, Iran and Iraq, or Louisiana and Mississippi? Which border isn't called the 31st parallel? The answer is North and South Korea. Who didn't play one of the Men in Black film characters? Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, or Kenneth Branagh? We're now over halfway through this quiz. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified on all of our upcoming videos. The correct answer to question 51 is Kenneth Branagh. What does the Mercedes car logo represent? Land, sea and air, sky, stars and sun, or earth, road and wheels? The answer is land, sea and air. How many nations formed the coalition forces against Iraq in the First Gulf War? 15, 25 or 35? Have you got this one right? There were 35 nations that formed the coalition forces against Iraq. What can kill yeast during dough making? Salt, sugar or oil? What can kill yeast? The answer is salt. In which US city is the mural Crack is Whack? Would you find that in Boston, Philadelphia, or New York City? That would be found in New York City. Question 56 next. In which century did Mexico gain independence from Spain? 18th, 19th, or the 20th century? Mexico gained their independence from Spain in the 19th century. Which Lord Byron poem opens with the line, "She walks in beauty like the night"? in beauty, like the night, or she walks in beauty? Have you read it? Or maybe you just know the answer. It's she walks in beauty. What was the final European battle of World War II? Battle of Loznica, the Battle of Polzina, or the Battle of Odzak? The final European battle of the Second World War was the Battle of Odzak. 59. Which musician co-founded the recording studio Third Man Records? Dave Grohl, Wayne Coyne, or Jack White? The recording studio Third Man Records was co-founded by Jack White of the White Stripes. 60. What does the 2 p.m. rule refer to? Blue Hole, Mount Everest, or the Grand Canyon? What does the 2 p.m. rule refer to? The correct answer is Mount Everest. In which US state was Dances with Wolves filmed? Wyoming, Idaho, or South Dakota? Dances with Wolves was filmed in South Dakota. Which spaghetti doll was popular in the 1990s? Hetty, Betty, or Letty? Maybe check the spelling there in the question. It might give you a little bit of a hint. The answer is Betty. Were you thrown off by the scent, or did you know it was Betty? Well done if you got it right. Which country was the painter Hilma af Klint from? Finland, Estonia, or Sweden? The correct answer is Sweden. Which isn't part of Canada's government? House of Commons, Senate, or House of Lords? Which isn't a part of Canada's government? Canada does not have a House of Lords as part of their government. Who was the loudest literary voice of the US civil rights movement? Colson Whitehead, Ta-Nehisi Coates, or James Baldwin? The answer is James Baldwin. On which US currency is Alexander Hamilton depicted? The $1 bill, the $10 bill, or the $100 bill? Now we've got a picture there of some $100 bills. Is that to throw you off again? Or is it the correct answer? It's wrong. It's the $10 bill. What is singer-songwriter Stevie Nicks' first name? Stevie, Stephanie, or Stephana? Is it the same as her stage name, Stevie Nicks, or is it Stephanie, or is it Stephana? The answer is Stephanie. What is the widest river in Asia? Yangtze River in China, the Irrawaddy River in Myanmar, or the Brahmaputra River in India? Brahmaputra, Irrawaddy, or Yangtze? The answer is the Brahmaputra River in India. Which actor played Star-Lord in the Marvel film series Guardians of the Galaxy? Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, or Chris Hemsworth? Here's a clue, they all appeared in Marvel films, but the one who played Star-Lord was Chris Pratt. 70. What wasn't the Basmachi movement an uprising against? Imperial Russian, Soviet regime, or Putin government? What wasn't the Basmachi movement an uprising against? The answer is Putin government. 71. Which sport was originally called mintonette? Badminton, squash, or volleyball? Which sport was originally called mintonet? Well, it has minton in the name, but it's not badminton, it's volleyball. What was the car featured in the Scooby-Doo television series? The Sneaky Slingshot, the Whiplash Wagon, or the Mystery Machine? Which of those alliterative car names was featured in the Scooby-Doo TV series? It is the Mystery Machine. What does the Mona Lisa have at the Louvre? Oxygen-free room, mailbox, or a private wing? What does the Mona Lisa have at the Louvre? The answer is mailbox. What is Lebanon's political power-sharing arrangement of religious and sectarian quotas called? Collectivism, confessionalism, or collaborationism? The correct answer is confessionalism. 75. Which writer tested chocolates for Cadbury's while at school? C.S. Lewis, Dr. Seuss, or Roald Dahl? Dream job? We're all thinking it. The answer is Roald Dahl, who then went on to write Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Which country was the first to formally recognise the US? Turkey, Morocco, or Egypt? One of those countries was the first to formally recognise the United States. Do you know which one? The answer is Morocco. Very well done if you got that one right. 77. How many members made up the original Destiny's Child girl group lineup? 3, 4, or 5? How big of a Destiny's Child fan are you? Led by Beyonce, the answer is 4. Which European country isn't completely landlocked by another country? Luxembourg, San Marino, or Vatican City? The answer is Luxembourg. Who is the baby in the Pixar film series The Incredibles? Ben Ben, Jack Jack, or Tim Tim? The baby with lots and lots of different superpowers in The Incredibles is Jack Jack. Question 80. Which Nintendo console dominated the 1990s? The Nintendo 64, the Nintendo Switch, or the Nintendo Entertainment System? The correct answer is the Nintendo 64. Question 81. Which African kingdom's bronze plaques and sculptures are highly regarded? Namibia, Mauritania, or Benin? The correct answer is Benin. Question 82. Which Allied power lost the most territory during World War II? The UK, China, or the USSR? The Allied power that lost the most territory during World War II is the USSR. 83. Who was the father of poet Alexander Pushkin? Sandro Pushkin, Sergei Pushkin, or Simon Pushkin? Alexander Pushkin was a poet whose father was Sergei Pushkin. Which is older, the University of Oxford or the Aztec Empire? Are they the same age? Or which one is it? Aztec or Oxford? If you think it's one or the other, then go with that as your answer. If you think they're the same age, go with that. The University of Oxford is older. Which power ballad wasn't written by Diane Warren? Always Be My Baby by Mariah Carey, How Do I Live by Leanne Rimes, or Because You'll Love Me by Celine Dion? Two of those were written by Diane Warren. Which one wasn't? The answer is Always Be My Baby. 86. Which continent did the potato originate from? Africa, North America, or South America? We wouldn't be roasting, boiling, and mashing potatoes without South America, the continent where they originated. What was the worldwide #1 box office gross in 2024? Was it Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, or Wicked? All three made a decent amount at the box office, but the #1 was Inside Out 2. What is the paint layer technique used to create the Ferrari red? 3-layer, 5-layer, or 7-layer? The answer is 3-layer. What is the war and tensions in the Fergana Valley a dispute over? Wheat, water, or wine? War and tensions in the Fergana Valley is a dispute over water. Question 90. What clothing style is a barrel? Sweater, hat, or jeans? Maybe you've worn a barrel. Do you know what clothing style it is? Is it a sweater, hat, or jeans? The answer is jeans. Home stretch now, 10 questions left. Which art movement translates as the wild beasts? Rococo, Dada, or Fauvism? The correct answer is Fauvism. Question 92. Which nation hasn't had 3 female prime ministers? UK, New Zealand, or Australia? The correct answer is Australia. Which children's book series is about Captain, Sweaty Pants, High Pants, or Underpants? Which of those is the name of a children's book series? The answer is Captain Underpants. 94. Where in China is the Forbidden City? Hong Kong, Shanghai, or Beijing? Where in China is the Forbidden City? The answer is Beijing. Which fellow country singer is Faith Hill married to? Keith Urban, Kenny Chesney, or Tim McGraw? Which fellow country singer is Faith Hill married to? The answer is Tim McGraw. What type of buildings are used for Italy's federal government in Rome? Cathedrals, libraries, or palaces? The answer is palaces. Question 97. Which film was written, directed, and starred Tom Hanks? Labrador, Pointer, or Greyhound? The answer is Greyhound. If Queen Victoria had been a man, which part of Germany would she have been the regent of? Heidelberg, Hamburg, or Hanover? The correct answer is Hanover. Question 99. Which deity was rose quartz not associated with? Freya, Isis, or Aphrodite? Rose quartz was not associated with Freya. Which country does the most easterly point of India connect to? China, Bangladesh, or Myanmar? The correct answer is Myanmar. And we always finish with a bonus question. Which Spanish sport involves a red cape and a bull? How do you think you've done? Let us know the answer to that one and how many points you've scored in the comments below. Obviously, those points translate to Quiz Class Einstein Awards. So tell us whether you're a champion, master, enthusiast, apprentice, or an explorer. We'd love to find out. And that really is the end of our quiz today. Thanks a lot for playing, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified in all of our upcoming videos. If you can't wait for our new videos though, there are plenty of quizzes already uploaded that you can jump straight into. My name's Ellis and I've been your host. Thanks again for joining us today at Quiz Class. We'll see you next time.